About a year ago, after installing solar panels and a battery system on my Berlingo vehicle, based camping became far more convenient, giving me near complete electrical independence. Since then, I've hardly ever needed to recharge the battery outside the vehicle. However, rigid solar panels require ample space and complex mounting, making installation labor-intensive. Because I frequently travel to China for factory visits, I also have an SUV there and planned a similar setup. With limited roof space and my no drill, no trace philosophy, I chose two 800 670mm flexible thin film solar panels which are lighter, thinner, and conform easily to vehicle surfaces. Thin film panels also perform better under partial shading and low light conditions, and recent advances have brought their efficiency close to rigid panels, making them a better fit for my SUV and no-trace approach. My initial plan was to mount them beneath the panoramic sunroof glass, but testing showed a major drop in output, so I ruled that out. Other common methods, silicone bonding, drilling, or taping, either risked damaging the paint, violated my no-trace principle, or lacked long-term reliability. After ruling out common solutions, I took a closer look at the vehicle's roof itself. This SUV has a panoramic sunroof composed of two glass panels, one fixed and one that tilts and slides backward via an interior control. I decided to mount one flexible solar panel on each glass panel, reducing solar heat entering the cabin while fully preserving sunroof functionality. I first measured the sunroof and confirmed that both glass panels perfectly matched the size of the solar panels. Because safety was my primary concern, I designed a triple-layer anti-detachment system. First layer, residue-free nano-adhesive. This adhesive secures the solar panel directly to the sunroof glass. One side is a permanent adhesive, while the other uses countless microscopic suction structures. When applied over a sufficient surface area, it provides strong holding force. Removal is done gradually from the edge, leaving no residue, ideal for no-trace installations. Second layer's sunroof clamp method. I attached a thin plastic sheet to the front edge of the solar panel and trapped it by closing the sunroof. This prevents the panel from lifting or detaching if the nano-adhesive weakens under high temperatures. Third layer, safety tether. A rope can be threaded through small holes around the panel and tied to the roof rack. Even if the first two layers fail, this ensures the panel remains secured to the vehicle rather than falling onto the road. Installation then began. I extended the front edge of each panel using plastic sheet material secured on both sides with transparent tape. I cut the nano-adhesive into strips and applied them around the perimeter of the panels. During installation, careful positioning was essential to ensure the extended plastic sheet had enough surface area to be firmly clamped by the sunroof. Once folded into the cabin, the plastic sheet was adhered beneath the glass, improving both safety and appearance. I also secured the wiring, leaving sufficient slack between the panels to prevent tension when opening the sunroof. The cable leading to the battery was routed through the rear hatch gap into the cabin and protected with heat shrink tubing. Before officially charging the system, I tested for water intrusion at a self-service car wash. Although I was concerned about the large rotating brushes contacting the wiring, the panels did not shift, the cables remained intact, and with the sunroof fully closed, there was no water leakage at all. With this reassurance, I decided to depart. Given how secure the first two layers proved to be, I ultimately omitted the third safety tether. This journey was a 500-kilometer road trip designed to thoroughly test the power system. In addition to the 100-watt solar panels, I carried a 2.5 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery. My electrical appliances included a 100-watt electric kettle, a 180-watt rice cooker, a 300-watt induction cooker, and various USB devices. During the early stages of the trip, poor weather resulted in almost no solar output. Once I reached Kunming, Yunnan, at higher altitude with stronger sunlight, charging efficiency improved dramatically. Although I carried a mains charger, I never needed to use it. Throughout the journey, old phone charging, computer use, water boiling, and cooking relied entirely on solar power and stored energy with no anxiety about electricity. After 2 weeks on the road, the solar panels showed no signs of loosening, proving the modification to be extremely reliable. This experience led to several key insights. Solar charging capability. A 24-volt 200-watt solar array can realistically generate around 750 watt-hour per day, equivalent to roughly 4 hours of peak output. This exceeded my expectations, likely due to good airflow while driving and minimal shading from roof mounting. Daily energy consumption and mindset. True electrical freedom comes from correct energy management. Live within your means, avoid inverters when possible by using DC appliances, and maximize energy use during peak sunlight hours. My daily consumption averaged 700-800 watt-hour, which solar input was able to sustain, especially when combined with occasional rest-stop refills. Appropriate battery capacity. Battery size should be matched to generation capacity. Ideally, capacity should exceed 1 day's maximum generation to prevent waste, but not exceed 3 to 4 days' worth to avoid unnecessary weight and space consumption. For a 200-watt system, a battery between 800 watt-hour and 400 watt-hour is ideal. By balancing generation and consumption, my 500 watt-hour battery allowed me to comfortably sustain over a week of vehicle camping. Compared to rigid panels, installing thin film solar panels was far simpler, requiring only suitable sizing and intelligent use of the sunroof structure. Next, I plan to equip my 2006 Toyota Sienna in the US, which does not have a sunroof, with a solar system as well. While I don't yet have a mounting solution, I'm confident I'll find one. That concludes this SUV solar installation story. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found it helpful.